Are you in the market for a new webcam? Are you looking for one that's not going to break the bank and one that's going to be a good return on your investment? I think I might have an answer for you. Hey there, everybody. Cap Media here with another review video for you. Before we get into it, I want to say happy 2021 to everybody. Hopefully we're going to have a lot better of a year this year. Things going on in the world. Hopefully they're starting to be light at the end of the tunnel. I know vaccines are going out for the COVID-19 and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's kind of a rough year. And I'm hoping that this year we're just going to ramp back up and we're going to take back off and be right back to where we want to be socially with everyone. So happy 2021, everybody. I hope you had a really fun and safe new year. And with that being said, let's get into this review. I do want to remind everybody that I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That schedule is going to change hopefully here in the middle of the month, as I'll be moving from night shift to day shift, and I should be going back to my nighttime stream starting at 9:30 p.m. So getting into this review, I want to be as upfront as possible. This company, Mosonth, they reached out to me and asked me to do a review on their webcam. In the correspondence with them, I did let them know that I'm going to be giving my honest review of this, and sort of if they're okay with that, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether I recommend it, whether I don't recommend the webcam. So I just want to be as upfront and as transparent as possible with that. They were cool with that. They wanted me to give them some good feedback. Maybe there's things that they could improve upon their camera, and just generally give you guys a really good idea whether I think you should use this and what your use cases for this webcam would be. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this review. We have a box. It's got the label on it, pretty nondescript. And let's open this up. You will get the webcam, which is packaged in bubble wrap. We'll get a user manual in many languages, and you will get a tripod stand, which is better than the Nexigo tripod stand. All right, this is USB 2.0. Taking it out. It's got a film over the lens glass. It is plastic housing, plastic all the way around. There's a nice texture material to stay on your monitor or whatever you set the webcam on. It does rotate and it does tilt. And the stand, it's solid. It's nothing fancy, but it is solid, and it does hold the webcam up. And it does have a rotating ball mount on top with a lock to make sure that the camera stays tight. So right off the bat, we'll go through the specs of this webcam. It is a 1920 by 1080p webcam that shoots in 30 frames per second. The sensor is a 2 megapixel camera with a 1 to 2.9 CMOS. The video codec is MJPEG. The focus type is fixed, so there's no actual manual focusing of the webcam. It's all done through software. The field of view is 94 degrees. It does have a built-in digital microphone. It's not a dual omnidirectional microphone. It is a single directional microphone. Its interface is USB 2.0, and it comes with a 4.9 foot cable. So my first thoughts when I took it out of the packaging is it felt cheap. It felt cheap. It felt it's really lightweight. It has the little light ring that's around it, and we'll get into the light ring a little bit later here. But it felt cheap. The one thing that I did notice is that it is able to tilt and pan, so you can turn the webcam left and right, and you can move it up and down, as well as the actual mounting bracket itself. It can widen and clamp down. So you really actually get a very good ability to set the exact angle of the camera that you want, whether you're using the included stand, which actually isn't bad this time. I did a webcam review earlier of a next ago, and the webcam stand is kind of, we'll call it chintzy. But this webcam stand, it's actually not half bad. The webcam doesn't fall over on itself, and it's pretty sturdy. You can extend the legs and get it higher if you want to. It's got the correct clamp on the top, so that way you can really clamp the webcam down. So I do like the webcam stand that they included with it. It also comes with an included user manual in multiple languages. So this setup's pretty easy. It's easy to follow. It's a basic webcam. It's not fully featured that needs a giant book of a manual, but the manual that comes included with it does have good instructions and some troubleshooting stuff if you run into problems when you're setting it up in your OBS. Another pro of this webcam is its price. So at the time of recording of this video, it is $40 on Amazon and there's also a $10 off coupon that you can apply to it at checkout at the time of recording this video. So in essence, you're getting this webcam for $30, and it is quite a deal. Another pro to this webcam is you do get a 1 year limited warranty on the webcam. So if anything should break, all you got to do is contact their customer service, and they will send you a replacement or troubleshooting to get your webcam running again. So let's go ahead and take a look at this webcam. So as you can see here, the webcam is not half bad. So with 30 frames per second, it's not going to capture motion like it does on the Brio. So the Brio's webcam, like here, if I move my hand pretty quick, you can start seeing some of the blur, and that's just because it's not capturing twice as many frames. Like if we did the exact same thing with the Brio and you do this, you can see my hand a whole lot more clearly with much less blurring, because it's capturing twice the frames per second than the other webcam is. But that being said, as long as you're not, like, you know, doing a whole bunch of dancing, you're trying to do sleight of hand magic. Well, maybe if you are trying to do sleight of hand magic, this might be the option for you, so nobody catches your tricks. But that's kind of a negative for me. But that's frame rate. That's not so much bad on this camera. That's just a frame rate option. So I wouldn't really call that a con of the camera. It's just a con of the concept of the camera. But as you see here, the colors, they're not half bad. Remember, you're comparing it to a $250 Brio. It's not really a fair comparison. I had another video on an Exago webcam. It would be a much better comparison to color matching and all sorts of stuff like that on another webcam. If you want to, there's going to be a card that pops up here. Up here, and it's going to take you over to that video if you want to take a look at that review video for that webcam. That webcam is in 60 frames per second, but being that this is a 30 frame per second webcam, I'm not knocking it at all for that. It does proclaim that it is a 94 degree FOV. I don't know how true that is, because the Brio webcam is a 98 degree field of view, and as you can see here, this is the Mosonth webcam, and this is the Brio webcam. The Brio webcam is a 98 degree. So I'm not entirely sure that this is a 94 degree webcam. As you can see, it shrinks down what you can see around me much more than the Brio does. So keep that in mind. If you have a whole bunch of stuff in the back of your webcam that you kind of like to show everybody in your stream, this does have a smaller field of view than a Brio would. But like I say, for what you're getting for the money, this is a terrific webcam for starting out a stream or having a just chatting scene. Like if you're doing just chatting streams, this is the perfect webcam to actually start your stream up with. It's low cost, low barrier to entry, and you're getting a pretty good quality product here. All right, now we're going to get into some of the cons of the webcam. So one con right off the bat is it gets hot. I can feel that it's warming up. It's far warmer than my other webcam that I have up here on the monitor. It is warm. I don't know if that has to do with the light that's included inside of the webcam, or if that's just the webcam doing its thing normally. I suspect it's the light that's included in the webcam, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But it does get warm. Another con of the webcam is that the cable is somewhat short. So 4.9 feet is not an overly long cable, especially if you're trying to set your webcam up over here and your PC's down here or over there. You end up having to get a USB extension cord, which is, totally the solution for this issue. But, maybe a little bit longer of a cable might be something that would be nice, just so you could have a little bit more flexibility on where you put the webcam if all you got was the webcam. And then another thing, the third thing that I think there needs to be room for improvement for on the webcam is customization of the webcam when you start up your Streamlabs. So usually in Streamlabs, you can set the focus, you can set the exposure rate, you can set the backlighting. There's a lot of things you can set. And this one seems kind of, we'll say, locked down for lack of a better term. You can really only change the exposure level on this, which is what gets me this look here, where I can make it darker. I can make it kind of, easier to see the backlighting. Setting the exposure manually is how you get this kind of effect on the webcam. You can set the backlighting. You can set how much backlight you allow in, which does help a bit. And you can still set the contrast, the hue, saturation, the white balance, which I recommend on all webcams. Don't just hit the auto setting. Manually set these settings. It's going to make your outcome way better if you do it manually. But that being said, this webcam, you're getting a $30 webcam, and it's much better than I thought a $30 webcam was going to be. So now we'll get into that light that's on the webcam. So as I've said in all of my webcam videos, lighting is paramount to making a webcam look like a $30 webcam to a streaming webcam, to a much more expensive webcam. It's all about using lighting to help the sensor on the webcam get as much light onto it, so that way it can have the most exposure and you can have the most live looking experience. So you're gonna actually have a pretty good experience with this webcam. So the ring light that's on this webcam is not bright. It's not bright enough to be in a stream like this. Let's say I wanted to stream exactly the way I do. And so my setup is I have all the lights off in here, the curtains are drawn, and I have my lights in the back here, and of course my CM logo, all that stuff. So that way you get this sort of effect with the Brio. So it looks very studio-esque. It looks very nice, very professional. That's what well, I hope it looks professional. That's kind of the thing I'm going for here. With this webcam, it does have a little light. You can see as my hand gets closer, there's some light coming off of it. But if I were to leave it the way it is with that light and turn off all of these, it is not bright enough. If I get closer, it might be a little bit bright, but I'm pretty sure that's my screen doing that. So the light is not bright enough on its own to replace your lighting setup for your stream. But that being said, the Brio comes with no light. So if I do the exact same thing with the Brio, you get the exact same effect. Maybe a little bit better because the sensor's a little bit bigger on the Brio, but it's the exact same thing. Now, say if you were in a daytime light scenario, you will see here that if you change the exposure and you don't have yourself with a completely open window in the back, the webcam does just fine. It looks terrific. It does a great job. It's really good for conferencing. I would recommend it for that aspect. And of course, we'll get into why I would use it for streams. We're going to do a test on all three of the microphones of these. So we're going to start with the Mosonth. We're going to work our way up with the Brio, and then obviously over to the streaming microphone, so you can kind of hear the difference between all three of these microphones. So for this Mosonth, it's the small pup, not a hole in the sock, the fish twisted and turned on the bent hook, press the pants, and sew a button on the vest. All right, so this is on the Brio. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. And of course, moving on to the streaming microphone. So obviously this is going to be the best quality because it is a purpose-built microphone, but just so you get a gist of what's going on with all the webcam microphones. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. So at the end of the day, this is a review video. So we've unboxed this webcam. We've gone over the features of it. I've shown you in comparison to higher end cameras, how it stacks up. I've showed you, what I think the good qualities of it are, what I think some of the things they could work on are. Yeah, I 100% recommend this webcam to people starting out in streams. This would be a terrific face cam for just a chatting scene. This would be a terrific a camera if you like to do the little pointing down at your mouse and keyboard stream. Like I do flight simulator streams sometimes, so this might be my new webcam for looking down at the controls so people can see what I'm doing, as well as the gameplay of the flight simulator. So maybe even a stream starting soon screen, you could have it like put up here so it's artistic and looking down at you, kind of blurred out. It's a fascinating little camera for $30. So in my opinion, it gets the Captain Media seal of approval. I would recommend this webcam to people starting out their streams, or if people are looking for webcams for conferencing with school, for work, 100% recommend this webcam. So I want to thank everybody for coming in to check out the review. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. Hopefully this is helpful for you. I just want to remind everybody that I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch. Link is in the description below. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so that way you can be notified whenever I have new videos coming down the pipe. And until I see you guys next time, game on.